Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I will be talking about the game and Aiden's area and the table so far from this round after 4 games. As we can see it in the 3-3 between Cagliari and AC Milan, which when we look at the table is actually a big result for Cagliari against the draw. As you can see, it was a back and forth game. Both teams, but Milan was more clinical and had the bigger chances, but it felt back and forth. As we see, Cagliari scored earlier, then Milan scored 2. Then we had offside, scored. So yeah, as we can see here, Milan was in front 2 times, but Cagliari gets the or not the late, but late equalizer and actually gets the draw. But it was not, the teams was just not precise with their chances in this game. I know that Milan has an expected goal of 3.2, but when you look, it's because they had 16 shots, 7 on target, 4 blocked. But they only, from 3 shots more, only had 1 shot more on target. So that they were not actually that precise. It was just that they had some big chances. This one was one of the big ones they missed. Yeah, they just had, no wait, that's Cagliari. This one is Milan. Sorry. So you can see they had big chances, but they either missed or didn't actually do that well. They also, like the one this scores on, is almost 2-1s, which is why they have the high expected. 2 of the ones they score on is almost 100% chance. Like, but yeah, Milan no. Cagliari had the more chances, more on target, but Milan was a bit more clinical. But in the end, it didn't matter because both teams ended up scoring 3 goals. But even though Milan had the ball more, Cagliari was the more pressing team and actually the team with the more chances but less quality chances. There is only a difference of 3 chances. But that's why they had more corners, why they had more shots, even though they had less possession. We're going on here. Both keepers has 3 safe, but none of the keepers really have a good game when you let in 3 goals. As we see, we all ended up getting the FootMob's highest rating, but it was very even in ratings. But why this is a massive result, especially for Cagliari, is because if you look at the table, Milan is 6th and Cagliari is 16th. They were 17th before this game, on 9 points equal with Lecce, and only 1 point in front of Monza and Venezia. So this actually is the top team drawing to a bottom team. And this gives Cagliari to get some distance to the relegation line because they're playing Girona next time, and 2 of the relegated teams are playing each other. So we will have a bit more understanding of the relegation after the next game. But this hurts Milan's title charge or hopes for top 4 position for Champions League. Because they have Juventus above them that doesn't lose or haven't lost yet this season. They have a well-playing Lazio, Fiorentina, Atalanta. And then they have what I consider 2 title contenders in Napoli and Inter, and then also these 3 dark horses. Like we'll learn a lot from the game between Napoli and Inter, but they have Juventus next time, so you will not think they'll get a lot of points. Juventus still haven't played this round, so yeah, Milan is also a game behind, but a lot of teams are either like Bologna is 2 games behind. One of them is against Milan, but Milan is not that consistent team. They are very weird because they are a bit like the Italian. No, not the Italian. They are not that a consistent team. Yes, they have won 5 games, which is and not the same as Juventus, but the difference is they've also lost 3 games. and they're not like this is one of those games where they score a lot of goals, which surprised a lot of people because in the midweek they beat Real Madrid 3-1, where in a great game, but now they are kind of struggling a bit in the Serie A this season, as we look purely only at Milan fixtures. Then you see 3-3. Then they beat Monza, a team down in the relegation zone, 1-0. Then they lost to Napoli. Then they beat Udinese 1-0, lost to Fiorentina, beat Lecce, beat Inter, which is the surprising result, and only really beat Venezia 4-0. We just need to see. They drew Lazio. They lost to Parma. And they drew Torino. So as you can see, it's not consistent who they beat, because if you look at who they have beat the number 2 seed, but they lost to the number 19. They didn't do well against Parma. So they're struggling against the bottom teams, which actually hurts Milan a lot. It's not like they win every time they play a big team. They lost to Napoli when they play Napoli. So yeah, this Milan side is not going to be, or this AC Milan side right now is not going to be challenging for. Maybe they can just sneak into the top 4 spots again Champions League next season, but right now it doesn't seem like they can get into especially when you look at Fiorentina or Atalanta. They're both teams that are better at, like, they're both teams that's more consistent in winning, where Milan is not that consistent with winning, which we show from those fixtures that it doesn't actually matter who they meet. They are very dependent on who shows up on the day. If they need to win, they are not really a team that can. They need to show up on the day to win, which is not how you win the league, because often to win the league you need to be a consistent team. And when you are relying on all your stars always showing up on the day, you will have a hard time being consistent. And that is what Milan's problem is right now. They are not actually good enough to keep everything consistent. They are not actually a consistent team, but yeah, Cagliari, a team at the bottom of the table that was on the same amount of points as the same amount of points as the relegation zones cut off. Of course, once I can overtake them if they win, but they are playing Lazio, which is a top team. So this another bottom team surprise top team. Cagliari will be over the line of Cagliari will be over the line after today. But yeah, AC Milan is an inconsistent team, which will hurt their chances to win the Serie A. And this is a massive point for Cagliari. It would have been big if they beat their close competition. But in the end, if you win home and away, it's the point you get against the big. This is a point they were expected to lose, and they got. They were expected to lose today, and they got 1 point out of it, which is good for them. Anyway, to my left, there will be another recommended algorithm. To my down below right, you can subscribe. See you next time tomorrow.